Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Woodland. This is the 10th session of Rootless, a game of might, right, and arson. My name is Kalanat. I will be your Woodland Whisperer, aka GM, for the evening. Let's meet our voracious vagabonds. Duncan?
Hello, I am Kyle Ott. I'm also probably better known as Desks and Dorks, or one half of Desks and Dorks. We make role-playing games, and I played Duncan, the Badger Arbiter, who's been, going on a bit of a vision quest as of right now. My animal fact for the day is that Ferret's favorite Wu-Tang album is Liquid Swords.
All right. My name is Michael. I play Thelonious over in the Ronin playbook. And my animal fact that I'm making up as I complete this sentence is that any animal can be a pet if you have enough money.
Sad but true.
I'm Megan, better known as Megan O'Cappy on my socials. I play Cal the Deer Tinkerer, and my animal fact is that kangaroos know how to swim. They use their tails as a propeller, and they also use their hands to drown people that are chasing them.
I like that you said people and not animals.
It is people, though. There's a picture of like a kangaroo like with its head in the water, and some Aussie was like, "Don't go in there." That's what they do.
I think if there was a way to go, I'd be quite happy to be drowned by a kangaroo because it would be a heck of a story at the obituary.
It's a water cooler of the afterlife. How'd you go? Cancer. How'd you go? Kangaroo death. Drowned by a marsupial.
Kangaroo.
Possums or just kangaroo?
Hello, I am Regina. I play our musical little otter, Sanvi. You can find me on my socials at Rennie Quiche. My random animal fact is that crocodiles cannot stick their tongues out of their mouths.
Can't they?
They can do that.
Aw.
That's adorable.
How does anyone know if they're teasing?
No blips.
My name is Emily. I play Red, the squirrel scoundrel. And my animal fact, which sounds like I'm making it up, but I'm not, I found it on a list, is that elephants have eyelashes.
I like that you had to do research for that.
Yep.
Hi, my name is Louise. I am off his maracas on all socials. I play Rebecca the Harrier, and my animal fact is that whilst great white sharks have a higher kill count than any other shark, they aren't the most dangerous. They are actually exploring with their teeth. A tiger or bull shark is more likely to hunt humans for food.
So they're just like toddlers.
They ain't got hands. They gotta grip you somehow.
Yeah. Dude, bull sharks are scary. Those things.
Great white
are...
sharks are toddlers. You heard it here first, folks. That's
Tiger
amazing.
sharks have been known to. They've been proven to differentiate between their natural prey and humans. They know that we're not their natural prey. They still hunt us. Great whites just have no fucking clue what's going on.
Just the image of a really
shark just
dopey
swims
looking great
over,
white shark is
stomps on a
just
leg,
so
and it's like,
funny.
oh, sorry, wrong person.
It makes Jaws considerably like he's just misunderstood. You know?
But it makes Bruce from
He's teething.
Finding Nemo make so much sense. Like Bruce is like, I didn't want to kill anyone.
Yeah.
I was just confused. I love it.
And we found who was suing us. Is it Disney again? I guess
It's Pixar, but
It's
nah,
Disney.
Pixar this time.
they don't care about Pixar
Same.
anymore.
Who knows?
They don't make Frozen.
My animal fact is that axolotls can regenerate their parts. They're the only vertebrates that can replace their skin, limbs, tails, jaws, and spines at any age. So there you go. Axolotls. They're cool.
The axolotl question, that's true.
Anyways, last we left off, the gang was adventuring about Windgap Refuge after their successful victory. They met with Ursa, they got to see Guy again, garnered some information and some rumors about the goings on in the woodlands at the current moment. So Bex learned about the Eyrie and the construction of a roost in Open Sky Haven, as the previous one was destroyed. She also learned that the denizens under the Eyrie influence are very happy, especially in Fire Hollow with Duchess Peggy the Owl in command. Sanvi learned about the river folk. The river folk have sold mercenaries to a multitude of factions in the war, including the Eyrie, the Woodland Alliance, and the Lizard Cult. And the Otters have almost completed a bridge for the Marquis that stretches from Patchwood to Fire Hollow. Thelonious learned about the Corvid and that there were some plots that were foiled in both Ironvein and Limberley, but that there were talks of uprisings in Underleaf due to the Corvid presence there. Red went and spoke to her father, but wasn't able to garner a ton of information from her father in terms of the sovereignty of squirrels. We saw Thelonious and Cal finding an unusual friend in one another, and the party was making their way back to the general store where Z Monmouth is currently taking a nice little nap. And so that is where we will pick up for the session today. So I don't know if you guys have ideas of folks that you would like to be conversating with, but feel free to let me know where you are in Windgap at this current moment, because I believe last time I think Cal and Thelonious were already back. Red had gone to see her father and was on the way back, and I think everyone else was making their way from Ursa's tower. So where does everybody kind of want to be in the scene right now?
I suppose me and Cal are still working on fixing whatever things we have, and chilling there, talking. I mean, as we're doing that, I just kind of want to pull out. I want to pull out the turbines before other people come back, and just show them to Cal. So I just kind of like take him out and like, have you ever seen anything like these? And I show her the turbines that came out of the arm from the mechanical cat that we had battled with, that I've moved out of them.
I can't say I have, no. Are you wanting to repurpose them?
I have some thoughts about it. I'm not an expert, but I have seen something like this before. I've seen things, and then I pull up Patina and I kind of show her Patina again a little bit more, around how it's like a clockwork mechanical thing. I've seen them work together with things that are organized in this way.
Where did you get Matina from, if I can ask?
Yeah.
Did you make Matina?
I didn't make her. No. It was a gift from my mom. Had her, I think, as long as I've kind of remember almost.
I mean, it appears mechanical, almost clockwork, kind of like Red's pistol. Do you think maybe it's the same sort of technology?
I think so. I haven't really looked at the pistol too much, but it looks familiar too. I don't know, I just wanted to show you these. I don't know when or where we'll make use of them, but when we do, I'll probably need your help.
I can try, but as I said, I haven't seen this stuff before, so I'm still learning about it as we go along.
So am I.
It's part of the fun of it, right?
Oh, that was awesome. Cool. Let's cut to Sanvi and Bex. Are you guys heading back from Ursa's tower? What are you guys up to at the moment?
I think we went to go cause mischief around town before we headed back.
Yes, you guys were on your way to cause mischief. As you guys are on your way to cause mischief, Sanvi, there is a sight in the distance that you would most certainly recognize. Coming down the path, you see the large and bulky figure of your good friend, Duncan. He has a black eye. He is bleeding profusely from numerous limbs. His armor is beat to shit. He looks pretty fucking bad. He looks pretty beat up. And he's sort of limping down the path, dragging his woodcutter's axe on the pavement. And you can hear the clink as he's moving.
Is that Duncan?
Good to see you all. Don't worry. Most of the blood's not mine. Most of it.
Oh, I am so sorry. It's not.
I'm just gonna sit on like a stump. Rutabaga. Sean V. Do any of you have any beer? It's been a long day. It's been a long couple days. And all I have is water. And I'd like stronger things.
Can I mark depletion to pull out a hip flask?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I pull out a very plain looking, and it's a small hip flask. She's a small rabbit, so it's probably not going to be as big as Duncan's used to. But what's in it is moonshine.
So Duncan just kind of unscrews the lid for a second and just goes, oh yeah, that's what we need right now. In the hatch. And literally there's just a couple gulping moments of him just going,
That's
that tastes like actual sin.
That's made with burdock leaves. My sister's been fermenting that for years. That was not supposed to be drunk on one go.
Contrary, I think drinking it in one go might have been the best decision I have made to date.
Duncan, give me a roll with might.
Absolutely. Oh, I don't have my dice tower. This is going to go poorly. And it does. That is a 5.
Yeah, dude, you're drunk. Like immediately you
I'm
feel
now drunk. I'm drunken.
You're drunken.
I'm drunken.
How has this never been a thing? Yes, you're definitely inebriated off of that. And like you're not super drunk right now, but it's like you can, when you're starting to get drunk and you can feel it sort of rising up. That's where you're at right now.
Oh, good. That's what we wanted. I wasn't really interested in anything else, particularly. I have to tell you, I think you all move in very counterintuitive ways. Do you ever notice Rebecca just keeps opening doors and then closing them randomly? Like she opens a room in the dentistry, then just leaves. And the first time we all met, she basically just did the same thing. Rebecca, you got to pick a room and stay in it. All you keep doing is walking in and out of places. People are going to think you don't want to be there.
Have you any idea what my job is? My job is to walk in and out of places as if I'm not even there.
You keep saying that, though. But I don't think any of us have seen you smuggle even once. It kind of makes you a pretty shite smuggler if you think about it.
I was on my way. You
No, there were no rails involved. It was just a cart. I'm still mad that we never did anything with it. I'm a large lad, and you've got no idea how heavy this armor is. Sonvi, where are you at?
While this conversation is taking place, Sanvi's just kind of quietly rustling in her pockets, getting out first aid kits and bandages, silently placing them next to Duncan, and then turns to answer him with trying so hard to not outright cry, but just kind of, yes, Duncan?
I'm just going to put one big paw on top of her head and goes, I really missed you. I just want you to know, after the company that I've kept in recent days, I am reminded that you are, in fact, probably the nicest person I've ever met. And your hair is really soft. It's very soft. Don't know is it like a thing you put in it? How does it work like that? Like I have fur, but it's not that soft. Where's everybody else? Did we kill the big fucking squirrel? I really hated that burnt piece of garbage. Did we get him? Whatever happened with the weird wolf man? And there was a crazy professor. He was yelling about something. I don't... And did Thelonious ever... What was Thelonious on about? Something else. I hope he's all right. The lad buried his mom. Oh, I should offer him a drink. I drank all of it. I could have given some of this to him. That would have been nice. We could have gotten drunk together. That would have been good. You should get drunk every now and again. Rebecca, have you considered getting drunk instead of going in and out of doors so much? You know, if you got drunk, you might stay in a room for more than 15 seconds.
Duncan.
Yes,
Duncan.
that's me.
And
actually, that's not me. Shh, don't tell anyone that. That's not me. That's not my real name.
She's going to place both her paws on his shoulders and try to push him backwards onto the floor.
She does very easily.
Why don't you just fix yourself up? We'll be over there.
That seems like a piss poor idea. Shouldn't
Zombie's
be doing medical
away.
care if you're drunk. I think I may have done something wrong. Maybe. No, well, that's not true. Did Thelonious tell her I said I was coming back? Because she was unconscious the last time I saw her. And I told Thelonious, I said, you have to tell Son V that I'm coming back. Because she'll be very cross with me if I don't. And I don't think he told her, the bastard. He had one job. The cat had one job this time.
I wouldn't know.
He didn't tell her? Oh boy, that makes sense.
I wouldn't know. We weren't there.
Oh, that makes sense too. All right. Well,
You got kidnapped by another badger. Do you want to explain?
no. And that was a very poorly worded question. Of course I don't want to explain. Do you want a root canal, Rebecca? Why, yes,
it would be
Duncan,
preferable
I would love
to
a root
this.
canal. I'll do it when I'm sober. Drunken
Yeah,
is gonna go find Son V because I owe her an apology.
you
and I
owe some
owe-
V an apology. Okay.
And I owe you a flask of something good too. Like, if you need me, I am going. It is very hard to don't move when you're drunk and bleeding. I haven't felt like this since I was 15. Oh, good times in boarding school.
And as Duncan is saying this, let's cut now to Red as you are making your way back from your parents' house. We'll say that you do see Sanvi walking away from a very large badger that you recognize, who is now sort of laying on the ground as Rebecca is standing over top, and they're conversing.
Out of character, instead of walking, can Duncan just kind of like roll himself? Like he thinks he's walking.
Yeah,
he's just like
absolutely.
slowly just doing this.
Yes, you see a badger rolling on the ground towards Sanvi as
let's
Rebecca.
go.
Rebecca, are you walking behind Duncan? Are you? What are you doing as this scene is unfolding?
She's disengaged. He's
What-
going off to apologize to Sanvi.
Can
Right
you
then.
just roll him?
No,
Just roll. Like it's like Calvin and Hobbes where they're like on the log, but someone's drawing it. Instead of that, it's just Rebecca's just shaking her head and rolling.
No, she just walks away.
So Rebecca is walking ahead of the rolling badger, and you do see this Red on your way back to the general store.
Rolling badger. Dog.
Well, I guess I'll walk over then as well. Duncan, it's good to see you, I think. Why are you rolling?
I didn't realize how it was. I think Rebecca poisoned me. Now, in fairness to her, I asked to be poisoned. How did the fight go? I left after I burned a tower down and killed half of their army, which, in fairness, is usually a pretty good weekend. Did we win?
Yes, we're standing here, so
That's
yes,
true.
I guess we did. I'm wondering if maybe we should head back to the general store, so that our mess isn't on display for all of Windgap Refuge to see.
At this point, I led them in battle and I saved their fucking lives. They can watch me roll around drunk. It's nothing they haven't seen their grandfather do, I'm sure.
Well, we could at least maybe get
Red,
this armor off you and get you bandaged and cleaned up a little bit.
I need one thing to do. And I have one request. You have very strong hind legs. I need you to roll me in the direction that Sunvi went. I don't ask for a lot of favors, but I'd like you to roll me. And if you don't, I'll just roll myself. And it will be very embarrassing for everyone.
Oh my gosh.
Classic badger roll maneuver.
A badger roll.
I learned it from a fox. And this toad that kept getting injured every 15 seconds. Or you can help prop me up. I'm not opposed to walking. I just don't know how good I am at it right now.
Or you could remain seated and maybe I could go find Sanvi.
Nope. We established she has to know that there's effort involved. If you don't make an apology without any effort, they'll never accept it.
Okay.
That's an important thing.
I'll prop you up then, and you can lean on me, and hopefully this won't end badly for me.
You know, lots of things end badly. I don't mind so much. You know, I meant to tell you that you're a very good friend. I think the others are lucky to have you, and you're a good leader.
Yeah, I don't know about I don't know.
No, it's true. It's true. God love Thelo. He tries to be a leader, but the lad's got no head for tactics. He leads with his heart and not his head. You got to have a good mixture to do both. That's why you're in charge, Red.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I'm just gonna take everything Drunken says with a grain of salt, I think.
Probably fair. Yes, so the two of you managed to hobble your way towards Sanvi. Sanvi, are you heading to back to the general store? Okay.
Yes, yeah.
So everybody eventually makes their way into the general store here. As Z Monmouth is waking up on his little footstool. And yeah, you guys are finally sort of all together here since all of this started, with Duncan being in attendance as well. Z will look up as you guys all sort of stagger into the room. Everybody's back. Well, I hope Windgap has been treating you well. Has it?
So far, so good.
Good. I don't believe we've met. Z, and he'll reach a hand out to you, Duncan.
What does Z look like? This is my character's first introduction to this character.
Yeah, he's about the same size and stature as you are. He's a pretty large and brutish looking dude, but he is a hedgehog. So he's a little prickly brown hairs popping up everywhere. But yeah, he's a rather large gentleman as he sticks a burly hand out to you.
I'm gonna like elbow Red. Red, there's a pile of pine cones and it's talking to me. Now, it could be a hedgehog. It could be.
Yes, Duncan. This is Z. This is my friend who was stuck in general dentistry because of me.
Oh.
Yes.
Hello, Mr. Prickly Friend. How are you?
Doing pretty well. Pleasure to meet you. Like I always say, a friend of Red is a friend of mine. But curious with the group of you here, if you might do me a favor.
Well, that depends on the favor, but I suppose I could.
Well, the unit that I work for has some friends to the northwest at Black Paw's Wall. Heading there would be most fortuitous. If you would escort me.
I would
Why?
love to do that, and that's a great idea. But right now, I have to have a conversation with somebody. But when we're done with that, I would be more than happy to walk you there, supposing that Red and the rest of the team would like to do that as well. I am always there to help others.
Yeah,
Sure.
we'll have to talk about it, Z. I'm not sure what our next steps are, and I definitely don't want to make decisions for everybody. I kind of like, if Cal's in the room, I kind of like sort of glance over in Cal's direction.
I think her and Taylor were still outside.
Okay. Then I glance at the door, just like presuming, you're not in the room. Like, yeah.
And you see Cal glaring.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
just
Red, there's an angry ghost outside. It looks in the windows. I've never seen such horrible eyes. They're large and glassy. Oh, those are the goggles. I'm sorry, Cal. You look great.
Red is,
really glaring through the window.
I want you to be there, just like, let me in.
Let me in.
How did you say something so controversial yet so brave?
Gosh.
yes. Red, as you say that, you see that Z is a little bit downtrodden, but understands the energy in the room, and your glances outside, and just says, "Right, I'll let you be. Talk it over and let me know what you think. I'll do some errands around town. I'll see some friends I haven't seen in a while. It's good to stretch the old legs now that I'm rested. But I'll be back later. Just let me know."
It was lovely
Okay.
meeting you, Mr. Sad Pine Corn Man.
You as well, Duncan. And he exits the room.
Knows who I am.
Let's move to Cal and Thelonious here. You guys are still outside. We can say that you guys saw your teammates moving in there. You would have both noticed your badger friend being back in the midst. So feel free to carry on with your conversation as that happens. And then shortly thereafter, you see Z exiting the building and sort of meandering down to the residential districts.
Is anybody approaching us, or are they still kind of?
Nope. Everybody's still in the general store, with the exception of Z, who just popped out, but he's not coming towards you guys or anything. Gives you a wave and just keeps moving.
We should probably head in and see what's happening with Duncan. He looked pretty beat up.
Suppose.
I mean, you can stay out here if you want to.
No. Glad to see Duncan there. That's one thing off my mind. I think there's something else I need to take care of, though. You go ahead. I'll catch up.
Okay. Cal just like shuffle up past Martina back if she was still holding her, and then head back inside.
Yeah. As Cal makes her way back to the general store, Thelonious, where are you headed?
So I'm heading back to the body. I'm gonna go and check on. So half a day ago, 8 sessions ago, we had sort of tucked away the deceased body of like half machine, half definitely my mother's physical body. So I'm going to that site to check on that. We had, if I recall right, we had like put it right into the edge of the woods, not in plain sight, and sort of loosely buried it under some leaves or something.
Yeah, I
So-
believe you guys had dug like Duncan's badger ability, like dug somewhat deep under the ground, and placed the
I believe
body.
it was shallow. It wasn't intended to be permanent.
It was yeah, just enough to cover it, and just get it done because you needed to get it done quickly in the heat of battle. But yeah, it was, you can easily find this the tracking of that. I was under a very specific tree, untouched by the blood of war, at least at the moment.
Yeah. So I recover the whole thing. I pull it out. I unearth it.
Yeah. It all appears to be intact. I do not know how much like body decay happens or how quickly that is
in half a day, not
occurring. But yeah,
right?
I imagine it's probably
we're still inside of rigor mortis. Like it's
I think it's probably intact.
Yeah. All right, so I'm essentially doing 2 things in this space. I'm disassembling the mechanical parts and collecting, like separating and collecting the body. And I'm rummaging that area for firewood.
Yeah. You find several like fallen branches and definitely enough wood to start a fire. That would be pretty decent.
So my intention is to find a close by body of water for ritual. Could be a pond or anything. I don't know that we're by a major highway river. But I don't know what carrying that is going to look like for me, and that's a challenge for you to describe.
I will say that you can, as you've disassembled most of the mechanical parts, it's not overly heavy. So I will say you can carry it to like there is a small stream that runs through the northeast corner of the refuge there. It's pretty peaceful. It's a decent spot for what you're looking to do.
Yeah, so while other people are in the general store, essentially what I'm doing is I'm building just in the shallow of whatever that water is, a burning pillar, and assembling her body onto that. And that's my activity while other people are role playing in the store.
Yeah. So while that is happening, the rest of you, Z exits the building, and you watch as Cal re-enters the building. So everybody but Thelonious is here in the general store. You guys are free to converse.
Duncan, you good?
Am I good? That is an interesting question.
He's a little bit philosophical, yes.
Philosophical. That's a great way to put it.
Oh no.
Let me rephrase it so it's not literal. Are you okay?
Am I alive? Yes. I draw breath.
Are you injured?
I mean, I am, but not more than usual.
You look very injured.
I get very injured all the time. Very injured for me and very injured for you are 2 wildly different concepts.
I'll have the 4 of you, everyone but Thelonious and Duncan, give me a roll with cunning.
As I said, most of the blood's not really mine.
9?
You got a 9, a 3,
10.
10. Sanvi?
10.
10. Yeah, Sanvi and Red, you guys can both see that Duncan is pretty heavily injured. It's not all of the blood is his, but quite a bit of the blood is his. So some of this is bravado that he is putting on. But he is definitely worse for the wear than he's making it seem at the moment. Whether that is a product of the alcohol or a product of Duncan's personality is up to you to, figure that out. But both of you can definitely notice that.
Why is everybody staring?
Because
Red-
we're concerned about you.
Is there a spot where we can
That's a good
hose
point.
off Duncan?
Yeah, I mean, probably. There's probably rags and stuff we can use to fix him up around here somewhere.
Yeah, I think some people had explored a little bit in the general store, but the upstairs of the general store is essentially Z's living quarters, and there's like running water and a tub and everything you would need to clean somebody up.
Duncan,
That's
get
me.
your huge furry ass upstairs. We're gonna patch you up.
I'm not a quilt.
Now.
Fine. I need to talk to you anyway. Thelonious was supposed to deliver a message. In fairness, though, he's been through a lot lately. I can't blame the lad.
Leonius has gone to do something, but he'll be back in his own time at some point.
I hope I didn't hide that hole too hard. Hope he found a good place for his mother. So I'm just gonna follow the two of them up the steps and just kind of let them. No, be careful with the clasps on the back of the armor. They're designed to be hard to someone to rip off. The trick is you gotta wiggle it a little bit. It was designed to stop scavengers from peeling the armor off your dead body if they got there. A little bit of morbid engineering.
Just to clarify, when you say the two of you leading, who are the two?
I don't know. You two are taking me upstairs. I'm just following. I'm drunk.
Some
think
people taking you upstairs.
Oh, some- is- I
I'm
thought
pretty
you
sure
were-
I
I
was
thought
just
you were
taking you
doing it.
upstairs.
Yeah, I think it was just Sanvi.
All right, then my apologies. I'm confused.
You're seeing double.
Drunk. You're
There
drunk.
are two otters. Just be careful with it, Sonvi.
I got it, Duncan. She's
Man.
gonna gently help him out of his armor and give him a nice warm cloth. Take his arm and start wiping his wounds away.
It's very kind of you. I meant to tell you something. Did Thelonious tell you I said goodbye? That was something he was supposed to do.
Sami just kind of stops. Yeah, Thelonious told me what he was supposed to tell me. He gave me your message.
Good.
But Duncan, I thought you died. And then again. And she's just gonna kind of look down and her little shoulders are gonna be trembling. She's trying not to cry. It wasn't the first time. This is the second time. And I thought you died and you just come back and you put on this tough guy show and I care about you, right? Like I'm your best friend and you just have absolutely no regard for your life at all whatsoever. You just come back and you just get drunk and I'm mad at you. And I'm mad at being so lonely while you were gone because I was just supposed to be worried about you. And all I could think about was how lonely I was. And I'm glad you're back, Duncan, but it really hurts to see you not take care of yourself. Even though I know this one circumstance was out of your hand, you just showed up. You just showed up and you kept on putting on the whole Duncan shtick. I don't like it.
I'm gonna put both hands on like her shoulders, just to not to stop the trembling, but just to let her know that I'm there. I don't know how to tell you. I don't know how to have friends. I have had companions, and I have had subordinates. I have been in command since I could walk. But I don't know how to have friends. And I mean this with every fiber of my being. I would rather die 1,000 times than have you get laid low once. Duncan is an act, Sonvi. I'm not a good person.
It's not fair. It's not fair that you know almost everything about me, and all I know about you is that you're Duncan. I don't feel like I'm your friend at all.
My name's not Duncan. That wasn't a joke. My name's not Duncan, Sonvi. My name is Estelin. No one's called me Estelin in years. And I don't know if I even want the name anymore. Yeah, you're right. I came back and I acted like nothing happened because who gives a damn if Duncan dies? Not me. You're a good person. Better me than you. But my name is Estelin. It's more than I thought I'd be able to tell anybody.
Estelin, Duncan, whatever you want to be called. I care if you die. Cal cares if you die. Everybody out there, we all care. Please. It's okay. You don't have to let your guard down for all of us. But just, I don't know, be a little bit more real with us.
Well, in fairness, it's not easy to randomly get kidnapped and jumped. But I'll try. I'll do what I can. And for what it's worth, Sonvi, I can't promise that I'm going to take my life more seriously than yours. I could never promise that in a million years. So don't make me lie to you now. And where I'm from, a name is a lot more than just a name. And the fact that you know mine means I trust you. That's about all I can do, at least right now. You deserve more. I know you do. I can't give it. But for what it's worth, I missed you more than I have missed anything else. And as bad as all this looks, it wasn't nearly as bad as being separated from you for as long as I've been.
Thank you.
I'm just going to wrap her up in a giant bear hug. No, Thank you. I had kindness. This is the second time I've been shown kindness in my life. That's a humbling thing. You're the strongest freaking otter I've ever met. And I've been hit in the head once with a hammer, and it hurt less than this. Actually, I've been hit in the head with a hammer recently. Still hurt less than this.
And as we zoom out on the warm conversation that is happening there, or the development of Sanvi and Duncan, or Estelin, we will pan the camera back down to the group that is sort of at the bottom of the general store. I keep almost saying general dentistry every time. The bottom of the general store, which would be Cal, Red, and Rebecca. What are the three of you guys conversating about or doing while Duncan is getting cleaned up upstairs?
I imagine that Cal probably would have gone back to the kind of area that she'd made in the general, not dentistry.
Harder than it sounds.
Yeah, so like the little kind of nook she'd made in the corner where to sit and work on stuff, she'd probably kind of make her way back there. But she would look over towards Red and Rebecca and just say, "Where did you find him?"
He wandered up, wanted something to drink. I gave him something to drink. He drank all of it.
Well, that explains a lot more.
I mean, he also said I was a shit smuggler. So... Anyway.
People say dumb things when they drink.
Red, now we've got your scientist friend and your spiky friend back. What do you think the plan is?
I don't know. Originally, I just wanted to right the wrongs that I had caused, and I kind of feel like I've done that, but I don't think I can just stay here in Windgap Refuge anymore either. That there's a lot of things happening, and like I told Cal, more of these pistols are going to be being made out there in the world. And that just makes me really nervous. I don't know. I just feel like I've stumbled into something and I can't just ignore it.
The Marquis is still out there. Z wants to go to Blackwater.
Yeah, I have no idea what that's about. I'll try to figure out more,
Not
but
Blackwater. Z wants to go to Black Pole's Wall.
yeah.
And
Do you know anything about that place?
I've got my own agenda that's taking me there anyway. I can take him.
Sabian told me if we got separated to find someone at Black Paws Wall.
Who?
Allison Swiss. I think it's a relative of Sabian's.
Right. More foxes. Look, getting in's going to be hard. The Marquis are going to end up... The news travels fast. The Marquis has been defeated here. They're going to know that there's a group of people taking down Marquis strongholds. I don't know if I can get all of us in, but I can try.
I'm not saying we even need to go in that direction. It's more recognizing something I remembered about that place. All I remember really is just that he said if we got separated that I could trust Allison, whoever she is, and that she would be at Black Paws Wall. But it's a decision, I suppose, if we're staying as a group, needs to be made as a group. That's my input.
Well, past couple of days have told me that I need to work on my skill set. So if anyone's any good at hand-to-hand combat, now would be the time to let me know.
Nope.
More of a distance fighter, I suppose.
Yeah, you're with the people that do not fight hand to hand.
Excellent. Okay. I'm gonna get some sleep. There are a couple of the houses that are still empty in the main road. I don't know whether they've been ransacked or not, but the current bed is occupied.
Gonna go
So
there.
I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll wait until Thilo comes back, so everyone knows where everyone is.
I can wait up for Thilo if you want to get rest.
No, I want to know
he's gonna
his
be
opinion.
okay. He needed to do something.
Yeah, I need to know his opinion on Blackpool's wall.
Yeah, and as you guys are saying that, let's cut now to good old Thelonious. Thelonious, you've been able to construct a pyre. I don't know if that's the correct
I think
terminology.
that's what I was looking for earlier. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah. You construct a pyre. You have all the necessary tools and utensils needed, I think, to do what you're looking to do.
Yeah. So there's one more thing that I'm looking for. So I'm gonna go back and see where the group is at and sort of assess where that's at. So I'd probably go back to where I first saw Cal, assuming where people were, but otherwise I meander until I kind of find, like, where is the group? What do I see when I do find them?
Yeah, so you wouldn't see any of them out and about. Everybody is in the general store.
Okay.
But I think that would
peek
be
into the general store and I see
Yeah.
everybody in there.
You would see, yeah, Cal, Red, and Rebecca on the bottom floor. And we could just say you can hear Sanvi and Duncan chatting up the steps, and you can hear some like water running. And yeah, because Duncan is getting cleaned up there. But yeah, everybody appears to be here.
All right, so I'm gonna with that information, I'm gonna try to slip in unnoticed and slip upstairs.
Yeah, give me a roll with finesse. Everybody else, give me a roll with cunning.
6.
That is a 10 for Duncan.
Yeah, I only got a 7.
4.
You're upstairs. I'm slipping up toward you.
Cal, Bex,
I rolled another fucking 3.
10. Yeah, Cal, you see Thelonious as he is creeping in, and Duncan, you hear footsteps of a cat.
All right. Am I bandaged up at this point?
Yeah, we could say that you're pretty much. I won't say that all of your injuries are cleared, but you are at a point where you're,
I'm bandaged enough.
Yeah, the bleeding.
I'm
has
assuming
been
I'm also
stemmed.
just like holding on to Sanvi for dear life, like she's like my lifeline.
Yeah, you guys can be hugging in a warm embrace as Thilo is
So-
entering here.
Sanvi, I need to go talk to the cat now. I'm gonna let go for like 10 seconds, and it's gonna be the worst 10 seconds of my life, but I'm gonna let go.
Ready, set, and then she just lets go.
Is Thilo in the room with me?
I believe I'm probably on the stairs entering toward the door. But you catch me as I come in or as.
Oh,
as
the door I'm assuming just slams open. I nearly floor you with the actual door.
All right, so I fall backward all the way down the fucking stairs.
You're
Side steps.
That's not good. I didn't mean to hit the lad.
Glad to see you're okay.
I'm very seriously gonna just trudge down the steps.
I get
And
up
then-
and I put my paws in a position to not get knocked over twice.
Did you go back for your mother, lad?
Actually, in the middle of that now.
All right. I'll grab a shovel.
You don't need the shovel.
You're right. Gamma badger. Sonvi, I have to go help bury Thelo's mother.
You have a flint, Duncan.
All right. We need a couple things if we're gonna make this go correctly.
I grab him by the cheek and I wave two claws in front of him.
Yeah,
You
I
all right?
have. You have 2 claws. I'm fine, lad. This isn't the
Yeah.
only funeral I've ever been drunk for. I was
No, that's okay.
pissed
That's
for
okay.
my grandfather. Most of my
Chill
family's.
here. Chill here. Is Sunby upstairs?
She is. No, I'm coming with you, lad. The loss of a family member is an important thing. It should
Okay.
be. It should
I, just,
be.
I leave him standing there talking to himself as I go upstairs.
I'm
Yeah.
following.
Theo, you go up the stairs. Duncan slowly trudging behind you in his drunken stupor, but you do reach Sanbi.
I just kind of like give a gentle knock as I come in the door.
Yes.
Hey, Sanvi, are you busy?
Hey. And she's gonna meet Thelonious at the door. What's up?
I kind of need a favor that I think only you're the only person I think I can ask.
Okay. What's your favor? Is everything all right?
Well, it's been a wild day, I think, for all of us, right?
Oh
I
yeah,
look
for
down
sure.
toward her flute. Could you play some music?
Of course, absolutely. What's the occasion?
I'm gonna burn my mother.
Oh, Theo. I would be absolutely honored if I could send her off, help be a part of sending her off.
It's all that I need at this point. Yeah.
Should we all go?
We should all go.
That's up to whoever. I've prepared her, and there needs to be. I want you to play.
Anything, Theo. I'm here for you.
There's a small pond just through the trees south of the general store. I'm setting up down there. Thank you, Sunby. And I just kind of scoot past everybody and go back down.
You watch as Theo pretty much enters, gets knocked down the stairs, goes back up the stairs, goes back down the stairs, with Sanvi and Duncan following close behind. Do you guys say anything to Red Cow or Red Beckia as you guys are exiting?
I would. I'm gonna walk over to everyone else. Hey, I'm not sure what we're doing as far as like what we're gonna do if we leave Windgap, but right now I think Thelonious really needs us to help send his mother off. Well, maybe he doesn't need us, but I think we should all be there for him.
I'll be there.
Okay.
Duncan's already following him. Like kindling in his big giant arms.
Yeah, you guys do kind of a solemn march, with maybe the exception of Duncan, to the small, slowly running stream that leads into a smaller pond down the way. And you can see that there are a number of things set up that would make sense for the burning and for a funeral. And you can see that Thelonious has everything already set up. You guys just need some fire.
I brought kindling and I brought a flint. You did a good job stacking the wood, lad. Man. Yeah, I know the burns are dead. Well, we burn the ones worthy of burning anyway. Do you want to be the one that strikes the flame? I don't know what your funeral rites are like as a nomad, but in our culture, the one that strikes the first spark has the one who's the closest relationship to the deceased.
Suppose it's not that different.
Duncan's gonna just very gently hand him the flintlock and the things that he needs to set the blaze.
Yeah. So I just kind of look at the pier and I look up into the sky and then I look back down and I just start whacking at the flint.
Yeah. You whack at the flint for what feels like an eternity, but is probably only 4 or 5 strikes before you can see an ember that is beginning to smoke.
I give it a little bit of breath, and once I'm confident, I turn around and I return the flint back to Duncan.
You keep it, lad. You keep it or you put it on the pyre.
I put it in my pocket.
Yeah. As you're putting the flint away and the embers are starting to turn into more of a roaring fire, you see Cal crafting a small flower out of some copper wire and a few small metal gears as sort of a token. And Cal, I don't know if you say anything as you're giving it to Thelonious, but it is beautiful in its own respect. Even though it's not a real flower, it is probably more like home than a real flower would be.
She would kind of just gently nudge your arm and then just pass it to you and go back to wherever she was standing.
Kind of a little surprised, but not badly. And once I kind of sort it all out, I just kind of press my forehead up into her shoulder, like just a nudge. And I move on to Sunby. Do you know anything that sounds a little bit like hope?
I have something in my journal that my mother wrote for me years ago. Here, she's going to take out her journal and flip it to the right page and start playing a solemn but hopeful melody that just kind of resonates with everyone.
Duncan's going to listen to that for a few moments and just kind of start to gently hum and goes, "It sounds like a tune I knew." Philo, do you mind? I wouldn't mind singing your mother off.
I don't really say anything, but I don't protest. My body language is sort of in that I can't really communicate otherwise.
As I wandered out, tree upon tree, as I fought against the world that fought against me, as I held my weapons high in struggle and strife, as I gave up on my only sweet life, as I fell to the back and looked up at the sky.
Thelonious kind of just leans one paw over his shoulder as he goes.
I realize I want so much more than to die. I see one whole truth, as true as the trees. I'm worth only as much as the ones next to me.
And as those last words ring out and the tune begins to fade, you can see the fire burning as it moves slowly down the stream. And just Thelonious, what's going on in your mind as all of this is happening?
Isn't floating away. This is kind of still right there. But as I'm watching it, I'm thinking about how I've seen this before, and this is the first time that I've ever done this.
You did well, lad. You did well. Your mother would be proud. It's the privilege of every great man to carry on the traditions of those that go before. You did well.
I think I'm also thinking about just the batshitness of like what actually happens to bring us here and all of the missing pieces. I'm thinking about my anger, but even that, all of these things are things on shelves in this moment, not things that are consuming me. And as the fire burns and burns down and burns down and everything turns into ash, I take a small cup and a paper bag that's fastened to it, and I scoop the ashes with an ember, and I slip the bead in there as well, and I hold it until the heat catches the bag, and the bag takes off.
Beautiful. What are the rest of you guys doing as you see Thelonious doing this? Sanvi playing her beautiful tune here, Duncan singing, Thelonious, doing what he can to keep himself emotionally sustained. Cal making the flower, Rebecca, anybody else? What are you guys doing in this moment? Are you guys just silently standing together? Set the scene a little for me.
Yeah, Red's just kind of watching, standing off to the side a little bit, taking it all in and thinking about how all of this is also a cost of the battles in the woodland.
So you guys are having this moment with Thelonious as the pyre is burning down to ashes and is pretty much done here. Where are all of you going? You're all together here by the stream. Doesn't appear to be anybody around you guys, so you are free to kind of conversate or move back into Windgap Refuge or do whatever you will.
I'll just be looking to Thelo to see if when kind of watching Thelo for what's next.
I think at this point, all of the activity of the thing itself is done, and Thelo is just sitting in the space. If people make eye contact with him, he notices, but he's kind of, looking at the water, looking at the sky, being in the moment that he's in. No particular, this is what I'm doing next. Ceremonies has the thing has been done.
Then Red will just go up to Theolo and really softly just touch him on the shoulder and say, "I'm sorry, Theolo." And turn and head back into Windgap Refuge. And what I want to do next is try to talk to Z just one-on-one to see if I can figure out more about this Black Paw wall situation.
Yeah, we'll say that as you are heading back into town, Z is coming back from his errands in the residential district and is making his way back to the general store. He sees you and gives you a kindly wave. Ah, hello, Red.
Hi, Z. It's good to see you back up on your feet.
Good to be back on my feet. Have you come to a decision?
Not yet. We're still talking it over, but I did also just want to talk to you and see how you're doing and all of that. And I was kind of also hoping you could fill me in on what happened, how you ended up in general dentistry and all that.
Yes. Well, our plan was what we thought was foolproof might not have been quite so foolproof. And we're happy that you made the escape you did. But unfortunately, Chunk was pretty savvy to our plans. A little smarter than we thought he would be. And, well, we were captured. There wasn't much to do about it, and we don't have a large regiment here, so it was mostly just myself. Wasn't fun in general dentistry, but it wasn't the worst of times. Met some okay folk there. But glad to see you're all right, Red.
Yeah, and I'm glad that that we could get you out also. What's going on in Black Paw's wall?
Well, Black Paw's wall is where most of the Alliance has been staying for the moment. We took it not long ago, and Ferv is keeping the command there. So Ferv is the leader of the Alliance, at least at the current moment. He was the one to take Black Paw's wall. Not a large fellow, but he's a cunning little mouse.
I see. Have you heard anything else about like the Marquis and their leadership and what they might be up to in the woodland?
I know a few things, but not a whole lot that would, I don't think, bring you any more information. I know about Chunk and his dealings. That was my mission. And, well, the Woodland Alliance is not the best at getting the message out to everybody that's part of the cause. So that's why I was going to head to Black Paws. Ferv will give us a new mission, and we can set out and complete it. But I understand if you've got other places to be.
Well, that's helpful to understand. I still have to talk to the rest of the group, but I think we'll probably be able to give you our decision soon.
And thank you, Red, for everything.
Well, I couldn't just leave you there, so.
He just gives you like a wry smile and then heads back into the general store without saying another word.
We're both the most beautiful Midwestern squirrels. Oh, yeah, good and you. Oh, yeah, sure, you betcha.
Not too bad.
Well, I couldn't let you just twist in the wind right there in general dentistry, you know. I really had to go get the rest of the family, make sure you were all right. Whoop.
So good. So good.
I love it. Yes, okay.
Good.
I've never wanted
Good news.
Good
in
news.
my life.
Not so bad.
Not
How
so
about
bad.
yourself?
Not so bad yourself. Oh, good and you. You know, it's a hard life killing Marquis soldiers and messing up lizard cults, but sure as God's got sandals, it beats fighting dudes with treasure trails.
God, I hope we get sued by Letterkenny.
Honestly, getting
I
sued by
love
Letterkenny would
Letterkenny.
be the best.
That
That'd
would be
peak
ideal.
performance.
Yeah. Anyways,
Incredible.
so we will move from here back to the river scene there. What is everybody else up to? Red has sort of made her exit, had her conversation with Z, and we'll get up to wherever Red is heading next from there. But what are the rest of you up to?
I think I'm just chilling with Thelonious at the burial site. My boy needs me. Until he moves, that's my.
I think Cal will like slowly also make her way back into like Windgap Refuge and just towards where they were staying, but just at a slow pace, maybe just like taking her surroundings, try and ground herself a little bit.
Yeah, Sanvi, Bex.
As everyone's leaving, Rebecca says that she's going to be sleeping in one of the abandoned houses. She tells them which one and goes in it.
Yeah, Sanvi.
Once Sanvi sees Cal trot off, she will go ahead and follow behind her. Not close behind, but just kind of follow in the general direction of where they were staying.
Yeah, and that just leaves Thelonious and Duncan standing off to the side here. What are the two of you guys up to?
I think just standing. Not a whole lot we can do about that there, Thelo. I meant
No,
it though,
we've-
lad. You did well. Your mother would have been proud. Your mother would have been very proud.
You know something, Duncan?
Yeah. I know a couple things.
Where I come from, we don't have any roots. When people pass on, we can't bury them. And when we put them into the sky like that, this is our way of acknowledging that we still have hope. And I just turn and make my way back to Windgap.
Duncan's going to kind of look at her for a little bit and just go, "Oh, I'm from a roots do more harm than good. I didn't know you, but you raised a good man. Means you're worth a dang sight more than most." And then he's just going to kind of walk off slowly.
Awesome. Yeah, so everybody is making their way back to the general store, I imagine, with the exception of Rebecca, who is sleeping the events off in one of the abandoned houses. You guys are kind of all in the general store here, with the exception of Rebecca. What does everybody want to do? Are you guys Red, do you share the information, I guess, that Z gave you?
Not yet. I think I want to wait till everybody is there, so maybe in the morning we could make plans to connect and talk about what's next.
Yeah, and we can say that you guys can easily get, a night's rest. Everybody can, kind of take an abandoned house. And I think we already established that you guys can clear all of your injuries, exhaustions, depletions, all that good stuff. Fix all the wear on your weaponry. You guys just saved yes.
All of it?
All of it.
Yeah.
Patina too?
Patina
Big
too.
deal.
Yes. This is a this is a clockwork town, or not a clockwork town, but it's a town that has enough gears and sprockets. You have access to the secret lab. You guys have access to, enough resources here, and you just saved the town. So,
Your sprockets.
it's sprockets.
Industry.
Industry. Yes, so you guys can take all the wear and depletion and all that good stuff off of your character sheets. Everybody will start fresh for the next adventure. But yes, we'll say you guys all get a good night's sleep as your,
So as all of this is happening, as we're all going to sleep, I can't sleep, and so I go out and I forage a little bit for some mushrooms.
Yeah, give me a roll with cunning.
What kind of mushrooms?
We'll find out based on his roll.
Roll of 9, and then my
Yeah.
my cunning is 2, so that's a roll of 11.
Yeah. What kind of mushrooms are you looking for?
Mushrooms that I need, mushrooms familiar to me.
What would
something mushrooms for home cooking.
Okay, so like
Are you
food
looking for
mushrooms.
sustenance or a trip?
Yeah, that's more or
Yeah,
less
yeah,
my question.
Yeah. So if I was looking for that mechanic, I would explicitly ask for it.
Okay, yes. Yeah, you find a number of rather large brown mushrooms that maybe aren't exactly like the mushrooms from back home, but are probably the closest you've ever seen here in the woodland in your short tenure. Yeah, beautiful. You guys all wake up.
I'd like to be the first one up.
Sure, yeah. You guys all wake up the next day. Dilo, what are you up to?
I found a kettle and I am cooking a soup.
Beautiful.
In a kettle?
Man makes stew.
Cauldron. Apologies.
I've made soup and worse. I made soup in a dented helmet once.
Not a tea kettle.
You don't make soup in a NutriBullet blender like the rest of
So essentially, the mushrooms.
This is Duncan here with the magic bullet.
We get sued by QVC.
But wait, there's more.
This is fine deer-made technology. So you know it's good.
It's
I
a
would
sliced
point
mushroom
this
soup.
out.
Oh, I love you people.
Soup.
Yes, so Theo has a soup cooking.
Rabbits are I can't remember what the version of nocturnal it is where they're awake at dawn and dusk. So but
Diurnal?
she's cheers. Up pretty early.
You see Theo starting to cook his soup with these beautiful mushrooms.
Does no one eat cereal like a normal person?
Duncan's gonna meander next to him. None of us are normal.
I figured that from last night.
Thanks for the soup. Thanks for the booze, by the way. It's useful.
I'm never doing that again.
Oh, don't say never. Could be a lot of fun.
It was not fun.
I didn't sit on you.
No,
Didn't crush
you
you.
insulted me, rolled off, and cried upstairs with your otter friend.
I didn't cry. I didn't insult you. At least I don't think I did. Did I insult her? What did I say?
Rebecca sits in a corner with a cup of tea and just doesn't engage.
Uh-huh.
She's not a morning person. She's awake. She's always awake this early, but she doesn't like it. And she just waits for the others to come down.
I imagine a cow will eventually make her way downstairs as well and just pitch up near the others. Still as normal, fidgeting with a gadget of some kind, but she's present.
Yeah, Zombie, Red.
Zombie is going to come downstairs as well and kind of sit up close to Cal, take out her journal, and just kind of start writing in it her daily affirmations and the like.
Oh, I
What are
love
some of
that.
her affirmations?
Zombie's the fucking best, man.
Zombie's so pure. It's
She
just
is.
beautiful. It's just beautiful.
It's to
I-
keep her sane.
I
She
need
has
to
to
know
stay
what these
sane.
affirmations are.
I really want it to be like, you know, like you ever look at like a child's like art notebook. It's just like little stick figures. It's like a little stick figure. Like, this is me. This is my best friend Duncan. It's just like a bigger stick, slightly bigger stick figure in a different color of crayon. Like, I don't know why, but that makes me so happy thinking about that.
That's exactly what I think.
It's all in crayon.
Let's go.
Is Red up yet?
Red would probably be the last one to get up, and she would come into the room yawning. But good morning, everybody. Not to, I don't know, bring up business first thing in the morning, but Z has asked us if we would escort him to Black Paw's wall, and I want to know what you all think of that.
I think I don't know what that is. I ladle some soup into a bowl and hand it to Red.
Thanks for the soup.
I think I'd like to know how much we can trust your friend.
Yeah, I got some more information of what he wanted to go there for. He said that the leader of the Woodland Alliance is based in Black Paw's Wall. Ferv, I think he said the name was. And
You have a brother named Phineas?
I didn't ask, but but I don't know. I mean, I think some of you had said something about maybe wanting to go there anyway. So I don't know.
I can get him in, and I can get me in. I also know of some prominent Marquise members currently hiding out there.
And Sabian had mentioned, I know he's not here now, obviously, but he mentioned there's somebody trustworthy there called Alison Swiss, so that might be a helpful contact for anybody here, really, if they're trustworthy.
I guess for me, I don't really know what I'm doing anymore. Like, I got my friends out of the bad situation. I put them in. I feel like I can't just stop, but I also, now that I've maybe even made some new friends along the way, I don't want to put you all in danger and then have to get you out of danger. I don't know. But you all helped me out, so I'm happy to help you out too with whatever's next. I just don't know what that is.
I would like to at least take a moment to think about it. We did just go right from one war right into another one. Doesn't seem like the smartest decision we've ever made.
Why does he need an escort? Take a walk with me and escort me are two different asks. What is being asked of us isn't even clear right here.
That's a good question.
I think you all asked too many questions instead of just getting the job done, and that's why it took us so long to get through what we've just finished.
But it's also important that we don't rush into things and ask no questions. We need to be able to assess the risks wherever we're going.
Tommy, what do you think? Where do you want to go next?
I think that you all are my friends now. So if anybody needs help going anywhere, I am down for the adventure.
I'd also like to help out if I could. Assuming you'll all still have me.
I think so. You're the strongest of us, but what?
Thelonious looks at Red like she's just fucking straight out of Weird Science. Like,
Where were you, Duncan? Where did you go? What the heck happened?
All right, that's fair. I don't know how much time we all have, so right.
What
I'm
do
gonna
you
look at-
mean?
I'm gonna
Are
look
people
at
coming for us right now?
not for you anyway, and probably not for me as long as I stay to sitting there. I'm gonna look at Sanvi. Like it's just a look of like I'm gonna do something real hard and I just need your help. So he's like kind of looking for that reassurance, like, is this a good idea? We doing this?
She'll give him just a slight nod.
All right.
Thelonious just backs up against the wall and watches the whole thing.
Just with the soup like
Delo's like
Yep.
sippy sip.
slowly sharing it. One mushroom.
All right. Okay. So, words I had. I like words. Words are good. Good words. Where do we start? You know what? Maybe we just soup. Soup would be great. And it'd be even better if you could fill it with whiskey. No,
Thelonious
all right.
hands him a second bowl of soup.
I love you, lad. All right. Short version. I am an exiled badger war prince. I come from a family of war princes. We work for something called the Iron Order. We are an ageless, several thousand-year-old order of warrior badgers who conquered most of the northern reaches of the forest. We are incredibly fucking dangerous. Also, super fun fact, may or may not have accidentally, how do I put this? Well, I managed to fuck my liege lord's wife. That was not a great plan. Not my proudest moment. There is an army of superpowered badger warlords all coming after me. Oh, and did I mention I'm essentially third in line for their throne? There's that too. Lovely piece of it. That's mostly, that's the highlights of the last 15 years of my life. Questions? Too much, Sanvi? Not enough? Too much?
Yeah, I think he did good. Just let it soak in.
I've got a question.
Sure. Is it how to
What
smuggle
does-
things? I still can't answer that one.
Would you like to tell us how why you've left out the part where your dear friend and kidnapper can shapeshift?
That's a great question. So, couple important things to make note of there, lovely.
Call me lovely, and I'm gonna rip out your eyeballs with my claws.
It's not the first time it's happened. Probably won't be the last. Don't threaten me with a good time. Regardless, my people are not exactly what you call ethical. I've seen things that make general dentistry look like a kindergarten. I've done some things that make general dentistry feel like kindergarten. I'm not quite... Look, when I say I'm not a good person, that's not an exaggeration. My people experimented with things. That's how I knew what a frother was. Because we had a group of people who willingly ingested frother chemicals to make themselves stronger. And sorry, Rebecca. It's been a hard week, and don't feel like I'm not being super kind to you. Anyway, part of the experimentation, as you saw when we took on Windgap Reach, comes in the form of our armor. My armor is pretty well advanced, but we've got other armor and other techniques to help, dredge up bugs, shoot electricity, turn yourself into a giant other animal assassin. Yeah. Imagine if an entire society was based around the ends justify the means, and then give them armor. And a very, very, very loose interpretation for the value of life. Yeah. Yes. We did it. Good work, team. My guess is it's an experimental weapon. We'll leave it at that.
It's clear you don't necessarily agree with that way of life. Other than getting kicked out.
More of
Why'd
a
you leave?
voluntary leave of absence. The reason we call ourselves the Iron Order is there's a big book. Well, my sect had a big book. Pages made of super high tensile steel. It's essentially the running record of everything our species, our particular part of the Order, has done. There are 2 ways to leave the Order. You die, of natural causes, never happens, or you're killed. I didn't want to leave, but it was far more convenient. I didn't want to die, and it was far more convenient for them to let me leave. So I did. And just so happened that apparently my old friends are trying to taper off some loose ends. It's not great when you're the loose end. Still here, though. It's exciting.
How did you get back?
A copious amount of violence. And lifetime of being good at that helps some
You've
days.
been very specific about your past. I think you'd be a bit more specific than copious violence.
I fought a bunch of them, and then they branded me. I'm just gonna show you. This is a lovely little... There we go. That's a mark of a traitor and an exile. And near as I can tell, the last time they did that was a couple 100 years ago, so it's kind of a new territory. I'm not entirely positive why they didn't kill me, to be quite frank with you. I would have killed me, been done with it.
What would you have done that you would have killed you?
Thelonious, I don't expect you to fully understand or comprehend how this might work. It seems like the place that you came from was a really nice one. Seemed like people were kind. You can be killed for just about anything in the Iron Order. Disobedience is chief among our sins. I disobeyed when I decided I was going to run. So, disobedience, banging my lordship's wife, might have been one of them.
Why'd you run? What did you run from?
Myself? That's a terrible answer, but I'm just tired of violence. Well, violence for the wrong reasons. Fighting for you all, it feels like a good reason. Fighting for the good people of Windgap feels like a good reason. Fighting so some liege lord somewhere can have another piece of land to add to his holdings doesn't exactly feel right anymore. Although, to be quite frank with you, I did think I would do a little less violence when I left the Order. But no harm, no foul. Just sort of an occupational hazard, I think, at this point, but I was hoping for a more peaceful existence than this one.
Thelonious comes off the wall and takes a seat on the back of a chair.
Anything else? Figured you'd have more questions, to be honest.
How are you today? Yeah. I'm always broken. How are you right now?
Alive. And
Yeah, I see
more
that
and
one.
more, that's feeling like a blessing.
Okay.
I'll take alive. Alive's not a bad thing. And surrounded by people who are worth fighting for, and I think that would be a good thing too. So, I'm alright. Alive and surrounded by friends. It's about as good as it gets. Certainly feels as good as it gets anyway. More importantly, how are you feeling? You're the one that had to bury someone that mattered.
I mean, between yesterday and today, we're in a different conversation right now. I suppose that is.
That is what
backside of
grief-
the stove, as they say.
That is what grief does to a man. But, you know, I don't know. 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 I don't Anything else? Cal, Ed, Sonvi,
What do we
Rutabaga.
need to know about these people who are after you?
All right.
Duncan, I like you, man.
Yeah.
I like you.
Glad one of us does.
Just be
The man-
straight so that we know what to do.
The man that's after me is named Florian Castes. He would be the liege lord of the Iron Order. Think of them like a king, but unlike a lot of your kings who just kind of seem to sit around on big shiny thrones, he's one that likes to get into the trenches and fight. Every resource that he's got available to him is something that he is going to use to stop us. Beyond that, what are we going to go up against? It's been, frankly speaking, it's been I don't know how many years. But, now, I'm not entirely quite positive exactly what we're doing here. And I don't know exactly what we'd be up against. I wish I could do that.
I don't think any of us really know what we're doing, but it's that we're all collectively figuring that out. I imagine we all have our own individual things we're trying to do, but you know, there is clearly a bigger thing happening at the moment.
Look, whether we or not we go to Blackpaw or somewhere else or just a random sunny beach somewhere and just crack open coconuts and eat by a fire, I don't really care. If you're willing to have me, then I'm willing to be a part of this.
You know a place where we can crack coconuts and not care. Don't hold back.
I was really hoping, Thelonious, that you as a nomad would know where I could find one of those, because I've never had a coconut. So they're great. If it's all the same to all of you, I'd like to stop talking now. If you're fine with that.
And with that, just to take kind of mental note of where everyone is at. So it sounds like Duncan and Sanvi are kind of in the wind, as it were, neutral votes. It sounds like Red wants to go to Black Paws. Cal, Rebecca, Thelonious, do you guys have preferences on where you are headed next? What's going on in your guys' mind as you're thinking about gearing up for the next segment of your journey, if you decide to have one?
I had already said I wanted to go to Black Paws.
Yeah. So for Thelonious, there's the only thing on the agenda tactically is Blackpaw. It's just a question of what's being asked of us and why are we doing it.
Cal is kind of just consciously remaining quiet and following the lead because she's not been out in the woodland besides where she's from before, and the majority of the time she has been, she's not been able to see where she's going, so she can't find her own way back to the places she's familiar with. So she's a lot more dependent on staying with this group than she's ready to admit. So silence is the best option and just following everyone else's cue.
Fair enough. And
Is there any read on that non-verbally?
Yeah, you look deep into her eyes and she's like, I need everybody here.
I think Cal has been pretty well established as
So she's straight for the par.
yeah,
Going
being
clean, we
yeah.
stand.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Well, it sounds like you guys are looking to head to Black Paws Wall, so I will let you have that conversation with Z on the next session of Rootless.